Alright, hello camera, welcome back to the channel. This of course is another anime reaction video. And it's it's starting to get warm in my room, unfortunately. I don't know why. It's 7:16 p.m. and it's apparently less than 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside. But it's getting warm in my room, unfortunately. Maybe it's because I got done recording reaction to episode 2 of Invincible, which, whoa, that's crazy. I'm doing more than one reaction recording per day, which is crazy. That's unheard of in the channel history, I think. But with that all said, we're about to get into episode 33 and 34, I think, of Gintama. That's right, because the last two episodes were perfectly paired together, which I didn't even know would happen. What a coincidence, right? But, as always, in the description below on Pixel Drain and BitChute, the links to the uncut reaction will be there. So if you want to go ahead and watch those first and come back to YouTube for the discussion, go ahead and do so now. We're about to get started. Gintama, episodes 33 and 34. Even though that was a pretty comedy-focused episode, as I was saying, it's actually got a good takeaway for the most part, except for the part where Gintoki emotionally manipulated those two dudes to do so much with them. He got Karma in the end. Basically, put Yodazuya put those three basically back at square one at the very beginning, where they had no house. So it balances out in the end, you know. But and I feel like I'm about to be like, you know how you might see those memes where it's like a me telling a joke to my mom, her turning it into a life lesson, or like me showing a meme to my mom, her turning it into a life lesson. That's what I feel like I'm about to go do right now. But for real, that idea of it doesn't matter if the story is real or the story actually happened in real life or not, you can still take away like good messages from it and like positive like ideas from it that you can use in your life later down the line, you know? Like, and make, hopefully, tone down the amount of, it's like, mother lecturing me vibes. That also applies to anime. Those aren't real stories. They didn't happen in real life, but you can usually always take good things that you can apply to your everyday life from those, like, you know, fake stories or whatever you want to call them. Like, what's a good one off the top of my head? I think the only one I can think of off the top of my head at this moment is Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. That one's got some pretty good messages to get across about growing up, moving past losses of people that are close to you, and believing in yourself, basically. And so there's probably a whole lot more that I can't think of off the top of my head because this is unscripted, obviously. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, but I'm sure Gintoki also has some really great lessons, like lessons about family, about helping people that are in need. Like the one I can think of off the top of my head is like I can think of two off the top of my head. The last two episodes with him forgetting everything, but eventually through the bonds that he formed with his family and all the people he met along the way, he was able to remember them, and that's something that's like family bonds will never be broken or something like that. That's a pretty good message to come up to put out there, unless you have like a terrible family, then I don't know. But another good one would be with that guy in episode 27, I believe, who I believe that his whole thing was like he did bad things in the past, but now he's taking care of those kids, and he was like the spirit of people's like wills continue on and are passed down to other people even after you die, that type of thing. I would even argue that the episode, I forget, this is like way longer ago at the beginning of the series, but with Otsu and her father, that's like a kind of like a good message of redemption, you know, because even though he's a murderer, he did bad things in the past, he's still got some good things about him. He still very much cares about his daughter, and he still do what he can to, be around her and try to be like a positive influence on her. So that's always something. And I'm sure as we get through more of the series and more about the past, about the war gets brought up, there'll be some good messages about how to deal with traumatic things like that, But I think that's all I really want to say about this episode so far. Other than, actually, yeah, that reminds me. Animation-wise, there were some pretty good-looking cuts, if I do say so myself, of animation, bits of animation. Specifically, the one that I liked the most was them when they were just like hanging around the package before actually opening it. Let me find some good examples. But like here, with Gintoki kind of just like not even technically being like the focus because he's not very close to the camera, but he's like emoting a lot in the background. I don't know, Shinpachi. Yeah, Kagura leaning down on it, knocking on it. I don't know, something about it. It's just really, really smooth. That bit of animation when he pushed them aside. I don't know, something about it I just really like. And then another good part was the rotating shot of their heads all looking down. So like it's been mentioned before, and I can definitely tell that this didn't have very much budget for the animation. And maybe they didn't have a very good like production schedule too, because time is generally also a bigger factor in animation quality than even budget is. But I think you can tell from that sort of thing that the people working on it definitely really care about making Gintoki or Gintama a great anime that a lot of people who like the series will really enjoy, and a lot of people who are new to the series can appreciate. Like, thing I'll liken it to is Black Clover, even though they're not both of them aren't treated very well in terms of production time and budget as well, I suppose, as well. But the people working on it clearly very much care about the actual property itself, and so they're doing what they can with what they're given to make something that people will at least enjoy. So that's something I really appreciate. But that's pretty much everything I had to say about this episode. So now we're going to get into episode 34. 34. If you haven't already watched that via the link to the other site to watch the uncut reaction, go ahead and do that now and come back for the discussion. Alright. Well, that was absolutely by far one of the funniest episodes we've had so far, in my opinion. Yeah, that was by far, in terms of comedy, one of the best episodes of Gintama so far. Oh my god. There was just so many amazing moments. And this episode also had really, consistently, really good animation. Like, the animation one of Gintoki getting his ass beaten by Kagura and Tai was really, really good looking, in my opinion. It looked really nice. It feels like the animation's slowly getting better over time, or maybe they just, they focused on that sort of thing because they had this idea of what they wanted to do for that joke in terms of animation. So they're like, we're going to save up, cut back in some areas so that we can at least do this, And that might be the case for some of it, which I wouldn't be too bad. That wouldn't be a surprise or anything. That would be cool. But man, there was just so many amazing jokes throughout this whole episode. And another Shinpachi centric episode. I don't think Shinpachi is my favorite character in the whole series. Definitely not, but he's a great character. I'm loving that he's getting more screen time. He's a lot of fun, and I I think one of my favorite jokes in this series now has to be Shinpachi going online on the forums for dating advice. Because I don't think you could never see that nowadays again. People being that aggressive and telling them to kill themselves because of some stupid shit, or people pretending to be other people online. That still definitely happens, but I feel like in the early days of the internet, that happened a lot more. A lot of terrible shit came off of people's keyboards on the internet years ago. Well, I'm not saying that was necessarily better, to have people say all sorts of profanities and slurs and such. But I will say, sometimes it was funnier to watch the chaos unfold. But there really isn't much else I can think of to say beyond what I've just been saying for this episode, because this was pretty much just like a great episode for comedy and for some animation, because I think the animation was definitely improved in this episode. I'm just, oh boy, I'm still thinking about that beginning scene on the train where he just launched somebody across the train and hit dude in the face. Because that was such like it didn't even build up to it. There was no anticipation. Like, that's one of the rules of animation, is anticipation. But there's no anticipation. It's just like, poof, cut to him flying across the train car. Oh boy. And then the joke, I don't give a damn if we're gonna get banned off the airwaves. I need to become a man. Oh boy. And I can only imagine, because I think I heard about that somewhere, that Gintama was almost canceled once, and that was like the second movie. Is like they made that movie and they didn't expect to be making more of the series after the second movie, but they ended up actually doing it. So in like thinking about it, I don't technically need to watch the first movie or the second movie. Like, the only movie I need to watch is the final movie, because the first movie is just one of the arcs from the TV show, but with better animation. So whether or not, I'll probably still watch it. Whether or not it be on the channel is yet to be decided. But second movie, I probably shouldn't like be required to watch it, as far as I know, because obviously it does continue. But I probably will, just because I like this show. It's a good show, really good show. It's a great show, even. Yeah, but I think that's pretty much all I had to say for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to press the like button, and maybe share it around with your friends if you want to. I don't know. But if you don't want to miss any more uploads in the future of Gintama or anything else I upload in the future, make sure to press the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Again, don't hold me to this, but I don't have any classes at the moment. I won't have for some months. I'm going to try to be more active, trying to be more on that YouTube grind, or whatever you want to call it. But thank you all for watching. See you later.